What is going on YouTube and Diablo fans? My name's Andreas and welcome back to Mana and Motherboards. Today's video is just going to be a short one and we are going to be going over Diablo clone and what that is. So Dclone is an event that can spawn, and Dclone is just short for Diablo clone, that you can either do as a community on Battle.net or in single player. And what Diablo clone is the spawning of an Uber Diablo that can drop an Annihilus charm in your game. So how do we spawn this event? So online you will get a community together that has between 75 and 125 Stone of Jordans, which is abbreviated to SOJ, rings, and you will sell these to vendors. And why I say you do it as a community is it's unrealistic to expect any individual to have 75 to 125 Stone of Jordan rings themselves, as they are rare and worth quite a lot. So what you'll do is across a server, so be that the American server or the European server or even the Asian server, you will, between the community, start selling these Stones of Jordan to vendors, and anywhere between 75 sold and 125 sold will then spawn Diablo clone, who will drop the Annihilus charm. And you can do this on single player by yourself by selling one Stone of Jordan to vendors, so it's much more attainable in single player as an individual. Now this small Annihilus charm is a very powerful item. It gives you 1 to all skills, between 10 and 19 to all 10 and 20 to all attributes, between 10 and 20 to all resists, and between 5 and 10% experience gained. So what will happen as well is if you are in a public game, often people will try and join your game. If you're just randomly farming or doing a mule or a trade game or something like that, people will often invade your game to try and get your Annihilus charm. So if you are spawning Diablo clone or as a community doing it, try and do it in a private game with a password so that nobody comes and steals your charm. So how it will happen is, as the rings, the Stone of Jordans, are starting to be sold, you will see a message that says that terror spreads across Sanctuary, and then as more are sold, it will then say terror is about to be unleashed upon Sanctuary. I think that's once you reach the 75 rings sold, and then finally once enough rings are sold and Diablo clone spawns, it will say Diablo has invaded Sanctuary. And that's when you can go to the first super unique monster in your game, so be that Eldritch or Shenk or maybe even Raikanishu. That is where Diablo will then spawn. So that's where you need to go to any super unique to spawn Diablo clone. Now as a community, this past Sunday we had 2 Diablo clone walks, which was fantastic, and that was put together by the Mr. Llama SC community, Sweet Phil, Barricade, and a couple other guys. So thank you very much to them for getting the community together to sell these Stones of Jordans to then spawn Diablo clone to get us these Annihilus charms. So thank you very much to them. And a couple tips when fighting Diablo clone: he has a huge health pool and huge life regeneration, so if you can have any sort of prevent monster heal on your weapons, or just hit him once with prevent monster heal, this is very beneficial. Or if you have open wounds, that also works to stop him healing up very fast. And even poison damage is also a very effective tool against Diablo clone. You should be able to do it with a decent build and setup. So that's going to do it for us on this quick Diablo clone video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. We'd really appreciate that. And we will catch you again soon for some more Mana and Motherboards. Cheers.